Salute, salute, salute. What's going on? Give everybody a chance to tap in this here evening, afternoon, morning, night, wherever you at on the globe. Make sure you come in, hit that like button, and if you're new, definitely sub. Everybody a chance to tap in. Give it to that 10-minute mark. Hope everybody out there enjoying their weekend so far. And they blessed, not stressed, and not dealing with no mess. Because that's the key element to life, being blessed, not stressed, and not dealing with no mess. Because that's how things go. You know, you could be caught off guard, having to deal with unnecessariness, and that ain't healthy for nobody. Not healthy for nobody. So, like I said, I'll give it to the 10-minute mark. Typically, but I'm gonna give it to the 10-minute mark. Then I'll get into the content. Overall, though, hope everybody's doing well. Leonardo, what's going on, friend? Yeah, thanks for tapping into the live stream, Leo. I appreciate it. Like I said, overall, though, just hope everybody's doing good, taking care of themselves mentally, spiritually, psychologically. That's what's important. Keeping our mental health together, making sure we're in the right mind frame. Yeah, I'm okay, Leo. I'm hanging in there. I'm blessed. Um, just hanging in there. And again, thanks for all your support, friend. Tapping in. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for leaving comments on my videos. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate your time. You know, you've been consistent. You always come to my live videos or my pre-recorded videos. So again, I just want to thank you for your time. It's very important. And even though, you don't mind, I just want to thank you for it. You know, it's very important. So again, thank you for all that you do on my channel, all the likes, all the comments, just being a supportive friend. Thank you. Like I said, for all the time, effort, and energy, I appreciate it. Once we get to the 10-minute mark, I'm going to do what I do. Yeah, and to everybody else out there, make sure when you tap in, you hit that subscribe button, or you hit the like button, or you share. So I appreciate it. I'm just giving it to the 10-minute mark, and I'll get into the content. See who else gonna pull up, or who else gonna show up. If not, they'll catch the content as they coming in. For myself, everything has been okay. Always thankful, always humble. More importantly, though, always standing clear and stand clear. Foolishness, stupidity, the clown show, and challenging myself to be a better person. I appreciate that more than anything else, challenging myself. Like, long as I can challenge myself, nothing else really matters to me. As long as I could keep challenging me to be a better person, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Because I don't have to worry about competing against nobody else. Like, that means nothing to me. challenging myself though to be a better version of me, to me that's important. All right, so we at the 10-minute mark. So immortality. A lot of people on the planet Earth see that death is inevitable, but they try to medicate themselves with so many other things and intoxicate themselves with so many other things. And that's not going to stop, change the fact that we're not immortal. We're not going to have everlasting life. So a lot of the things that we get, have, or we into is just really to medicate and intoxicate your life so you don't pay attention to the fact that you're going to have an expiration date and nothing that comes your way is certified or guaranteed. Nothing except for death. That's it. So it doesn't matter who you like, what you like, how much money you have, how much money you don't have, how much clothes you have, how many cars you have. If you don't have a car, if you're homeless, if you have mansions, okay, you might have more than a person in this lifetime, but we all gonna perish. Death is inevitable. We don't know when that's coming. We all got an expiration date. So to anybody out there, whether they listening to this now, they gonna listen to it later on a playback, another day, whenever. However, we all on borrowed time though. Everybody's on borrowed time. We all on borrowed time. We don't know when our expiration date is. We don't. We don't know when our expiration date is gonna be. As for myself, I'm not worrying about avoiding that. Whenever that time gonna be, I'm embracing. I've done enough in this life where my expiration date comes up, it comes up. I've done enough. Would I like to do more? Yes, but I've done it enough. Expiration date, everybody has one. When or how, we don't know that. But we have one though. So no matter how much of whatever you have, you could keep saying how you got more than the next man or the next woman. However, do you have immortality? Will you be able to live forever? No, your life gonna stop one day. And the thing that I appreciate about that is that no matter how much you do have, once life is gone, that's that. You can lose money, cars, family, relationships, jobs, career positions, money out the bank. You probably could rebuild all that back and get some of those things back. But once life is gone, ain't no returning from that. Ain't no coming back. And no matter how much some people want to go with stories about what they heard, people leaving this planet and coming back, and they left the planet for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm not saying none of that didn't happen or it's not real. I'm saying leave here and come back and give us the story or the rendition as of to what really happens. Where's soul really go? Is it really something after that? Like after we perish, I want somebody to give me actual facts to what goes on. not what they believe, not what they heard, not what they think. Facts. Be gone for a week, 2 weeks, and come back and say, okay, this is what happens. This is the first process. This is the second process. This is the third process. That's impossible. It's not going to happen. And money can't change that or dispute that. Fame can't change that or dispute that. Popularity can't change that or dispute that. Materialism, cars, jewelry, clothes, luxury items can't change that. Religion, it, religious belief, none of that could change that. Once you go, you don't get a do-over. You don't get a do-over. Once you gone, is no do-overs. We get do-overs with everything else, but not with that. So why is that taken so lightly and slightly? It's like, why is it a gamble? Why is it like craps, CeeLo, blackjack, roulette, poker? Why is it that when it comes to life? But you only get one of those. Of course, nobody want nothing of theirs to be damaged or taken away. However, you could possibly get that back. We all work hard to get things that we have. However, we all given, once we have it, life. When it's gone, you ain't getting it back. You ain't getting that back. So no matter how upset you get at your parents or your kinfolk or your woman or your man or your boss or somebody when you driving in the street, once life go, you ain't getting that back. And like I said, some people probably was gone 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm talking about a week or two. Come back. Let me know how that scenario begins and ends. That's what I want to know. I ain't even say months. I just said a week or two. Let me know. Talk to me. Convince me. I love to see that. I love to bear witness to it. And I don't need some ancient history story. I need facts. It's too much surveillance. Too much technology. Phones do a lot. Computers do a lot. Tablets do a lot. So show me, okay, this person right here or this group of people have passed away and they came back. Let me know the story. Not his story. No, the real, true facts. Like I said, not his story, the facts. So all the stuff you do have, all the stuff you don't have. What about immortality though? Being immortal. What's going on with that? So all the stuff you can get, or you have, or you believe in, what's up with immortality? Would you give up everything that you have for that? They say you gotta live. If the universe come up with something to say, okay, you gonna have eternal life, but you gonna struggle for the rest of your time here. And you gonna be here. You ain't going nowhere now. You gonna always be able to live. However, food ain't got nothing to do with that. Clothes, place to stay, family, cars, jewelry. How many people would trade all that stuff in for that? I know I would. And I wouldn't even think twice. They wouldn't even have to finish the sentence. I'd be like, yo, I'm taking eternal life. I'll trade everything in for that. Because once you go, that's it. Once you're gone, that's that. It's over. So since I've learned that, that's how come for me. I'm thankful. I'm appreciative. I learned whatever happens in between that happens. But the only thing is certified to me is a birth certificate and a death certificate. That's it. Nothing else is certified. Those two things are certified. Some people say taxes. That ain't even certified. But for sure, that birth certificate and that death certificate, that's due. Can't get around those. Because, like I said, some people don't pay their taxes, but that birth certificate and that death certificate, that's certified, guaranteed. Ain't no avoiding that. That's inevitable. And me, with the mentality, that keeps me grounded, keeps me humble. Also, it keeps me away from people because no matter what you chase, what your goals and aspirations are, you're going to perish one day. I'm not saying live your life and sweat that and worry about it. However, it's inevitable. So anything that comes in between that is not guaranteed. But what's on the end of it is whatever's on the end of it, that's certified. Perishing, certified. So what's the point of arguing, going back and forth, worrying about materialism? You can't take it with you. It's impossible. Can't take it with you. What they gonna do? Just put it in your coffin or put it in your casket? It ain't with you. It's in the coffin, but it ain't literally with you. It's just in that casket or that coffin. And it'd be even worse. Should you get cremated, can't take it with you. So at the end of the day, what's it really about? Because can't you can have $1 billion when you gone, you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you. So your net worth could be 300 billion, a trillion. You can't take it with you. Can't take it with you. You can have a fleet of cars, unlimited amount of property, jewelry, all that. Can't take it with you. Even when you pass it down, they got an expiration date too. So anything in between, that's what it just is. It's just in between. It's like you need the bread to make a sandwich. Whatever's in between is going to be in between, but without the bread, is it still a sandwich? That's like when you first here and then when you gone. And once you gone, nothing's bringing you back though. So despite all that money you got, when you go, it can't bring you back. You gone. All them cars, you can't drive them no more. That's that. Clothes, can't wear them no more. Jewelry, can't wear it no more. Ain't gonna be no more what you like, who you like, arguing, fighting, family, marriage. None of that's bringing you back though. No more watching sports. No more arguing about sports. No more arguing about music. None of that. It's over. No matter how much love, loyalty, trust you have, that ain't gonna be able to bring you back. Some of those things could even get you going quicker. Because if you have love for the wrong people, you trust the wrong people, you dedicated to the wrong people, it could get you out of here quicker. It could definitely do that. It could definitely do it without even thinking twice about it. It could definitely do that. It get you out of here quicker. It could definitely do that. So how important is it, really? How important is it really? Like I said, having love for the wrong people, spreading love to the wrong people, being loyal to the wrong people, being dedicated to the wrong people or the wrong things. It gets you out of here quicker. But we all gonna get up out of here though. It's just when and how, or when or how. But we all gonna get up out of here though. So would you trade everything in for immortality? Would you do that? You had the opportunity. Would you give everything up for immortality? Like I said, for a fact, I know I would. I know I would do that. I would. I'm not even debating it. I just know I would. I mean, I accept that it's inevitable, but I would give it up though. I would give it up though. That's a fact. And I understand. I get it. A lot of people know what's coming. So, like I said, they're gonna medicate themselves with other things to black that out. Money, cars, jewelry, relationships, religion. That's not changing the dynamics of that though. It's not changing that. That's not going to do that. Dynamics of it ain't going nowhere. No matter where we at and what we going through, we can't reverse that. We can't reverse that. That's going to be that way. However, as mankind and civilization, we believe we in control of this thing called life. We not. We're not in control of this thing called life. Life controls us. We don't control life. You might can control your own actions, but how you gonna control your own life? Because at any given moment, you could go through something and it could be lost. It could be stripped away from you, and you doing everything you need to do to protect your own life, to make sure you're in the right position, so nothing happens. But that ain't got nothing to do with how the world is set up. How the world is set up, can't control that. That's how the world is set up. The world okay. You have no say so in it. No matter how much praying you think you're doing, what doctors you go see, how much medication you take, none of that can stop the inevitable of an expiration date. So it don't matter if you're a billionaire or you broke. When it's your expiration date, it's your expiration date. Yet and still, some people believe that, oh, well, I get this amount of money, I'm going to live longer. Not true. And since I'm broke, it's going to be over quicker. Nope, not true either. Neither one of those things are true. You have money, you're going to live longer. And if you don't have money, you won't live as long. None of those things are true. We don't control our expiration date. We don't. We don't control that. And that's why I appreciate life so much, because I get it. I don't control my expiration date. And I can't even debate it. Even if I want to. I'm just going to look foolish trying to debate it. Nothing to debate. It could be stripped away any second, at any day, any time. It's not going to be when I think it's going to be. It's not going to even be when somebody else thinks it's going to be. It's going to be when it's going to happen. And that's undisputed. More importantly, though, it's inevitable. Because that expiration date, you don't know when that is. Like I said, it's inevitable. We all got one. So since that's what it is, that's why I don't care about what people say about me, how people view me, how people see me. Because I would ask them, okay, well, immortality, where's that at in your life? You gonna perish one day? Now if they tell me, no, I'm gonna be around. I need that information. Let me get that info. Teach me, show me. Give me that information. Who do I need to talk to? What doctor I need to go see? Who I need to pray to? What should my religion be? And ain't none of that going to change that. Because they're going to say, no, even though you pray or even though you got a religion or even though this, that ain't got nothing to do with it. We all going to not be here one day. So why am I worrying about anything else? Why am I worrying about anything else? Not going to stress myself out about it, knowing one day I ain't going to be here anyway. So no matter how much money I get or have, it's going to postpone the thought process about it, but it's not going to postpone the actual time or date. That's already etched in stone. I just don't know when it is. It's already etched in stone. I just don't know when it is. I don't. It's like, when is this going to happen? I have no clue. I literally don't know when it is. I have no clue. But it's going to happen, though. Who could I talk to about the postponing this? Who could I ask about it? Nobody? Anybody I ask or reach out to, they're going to give me the same answer. You can't stop that. That's inevitable. Hmm. So what I'm arguing about again? Why I'm worrying about people again? They on the borrowed time too, just like I am. And another thing that I like about it, age have nothing to do with this. You could be 8, you could be 80. That have nothing to do with it. When your expiration date comes up, it comes up. Can't stop that. Can't forecast it either. That's that. Some people gonna think, well, I could stop it. Well, I could prevent it. How? Put me on. I would love to know. How you prevent that? How you stop that? Oh yeah, you can't. So for me to be going back and forth, arguing about things that don't mean nothing, that means something. That means something because what's coming. So all these stories we think we know about. What's up with that? That's what I'm talking about. All this back and forth, chitter chatter, rumors, and all that. Okay, that that's okay. However, let's get into and let's talk about eternal life, living forever. Talk about that. Why money can't get me that? Why love can't get me that? Why respect can't get me that? Why family can't get me that? Why religion can't get me that? But all those things supposed to mean something to me. Money can't get me to live forever. Religion can't do that. Prayer can't do that. Family can't do that. Cars can't do it. A check mark can't do it. Followers on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. None of them things could do that. So I'm supposed to be caught up and worried about that? Nah, nah. None of them things could get me to live forever. It can't. And it's relevant to me because everybody has an expiration date. See, we in the days and times when everybody want to argue or dispute something. How you gonna argue that? How you gonna dispute that? That everybody got an expiration date. They just don't know when it's coming or how it's gonna come. So even if they think they know how, okay, when? And even if they think they know when, how? So, but I get it though. That ain't something people want to talk about. They don't want to think about that. But they'll watch something about somebody losing or taking their last breath. But to actually have the conversation, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that though. Mm-mm. I don't want to have a conversation about that. You asking me to do too much now. Well, I gotta think about that. I got this money, I got the cars, I got women, I got followers, I got jewelry, I got check mark, I got a big house, I got this career position. Yeah, okay, all that is nice, but eventually that expiration date gonna come up. Then what? Oh, I get it. I'm supposed to move like it's life. I'm supposed to deal with that when it come, right? I'm unable to do that because I don't know what's yet to come. So that's why I'm on it the way I'm on it. Because none of those other things mean as much to learning the fact that it's an expiration date behind everything. It's an expiration date. So when people get upset or want to dictate or want to control or go back and forth with people about what? About what? We on borrowed time. We borrowed this time. And another thing I appreciate about it, you can't give it back. Can't do that either. Sometimes you come into situations thinking you could give something back. You can't do that. Like, you know what? Once you have a birthday, you got one more. Okay, you got another one. Okay, you're gonna keep counting them. You're gonna have less and less. A wise man once told me the only birthday count is the first one and the last one. Mm, mm. That's the only birthday count, the first one and the last one. No matter where you at in life, no matter what you're doing. The only birthday that counts is the first and the last. That's that. Them the only birthdays that count. The very first one and the last one. And what's real about that is you may not remember the first one. And you might not remember the last one. So all of the ones in between means nothing. Those are only birthdays that mean something. First one and the last one. All them other birthdays, nothing. Ain't nothing. It's a joke. It's a joke. Them other birthdays don't mean nothing. Because they in between. So the very first one and the very last one. Them the only birthdays that count. Like I said, somebody can argue, dispute it. Doesn't matter. When the reality set in and sink in, those are the only birthdays that matter. The very first one, which we probably don't remember or we're not going to remember, and the last one, if we can remember that. And the last one is not the last one that you celebrate, the last one you're going to ever have. That's all. The in-between birthdays is just the in-between birthdays. Of course, we're going to put a monumental mark on maybe 25th, 35th, 45th, 40th, 30th, 20th, 21st, 18th, 16th. Yeah, we do that, but it really don't mean nothing. It's the very first one and the last one. And again, the last one is not the last one that you celebrate, the last one that you ever gonna have. It's like your first meal and then your last meal. That's the only thing that matters. The last thing that you ever put on and the first thing that you ever put on. That's the only thing that matters. Anything in between ain't guaranteed or certified. And it doesn't mean much. It doesn't represent anything. It doesn't represent anything. Everybody has an expiration date. So the notion of I got money, I got millions or billions of cars, okay, bless you for having that. But not even but however, you're in the same situation as me. We both got an expiration date. You don't know when or how like I don't. And even if you might know when, you don't know how. And even if you might know how, you might not know when. You don't got an expiration date. So the expiration date is key. It's everything. The expiration date is everything. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. So that's why for me, I don't even care. The same way people criticize and talk and spread rumors and gossip, they got expiration date too. And if they want to choose to use the borrowed time to do that, that's all done. I'm not. I'm not. Because the borrowed time, the more and more that we hear, it get cut shorter and shorter. And you can't get that borrowed time from someone else. Can't get that. Can't go up to somebody and say, "You love me, right? Give me 10 years." And if you 30 now, that takes you back to 20. If you're 40 now, that takes you back to 30. If you're 20, it takes you back to 10. If you're 15 and you ask for 5 years, it takes you back 10. Nah. And should that be accurate, ain't nobody gonna give you that. Nobody gonna get to you. They ain't gonna get to you. No matter how much they love you, people barely want to give up money, food, the time that's on the clock. When we talking about if somebody had the opportunity to give you 5 years, they wouldn't do that. Be like, hold on, if I give you 5 years, I'm gonna lose 5 years of my life. So that's how I know this thing is a joke. It's a joke. It's like you love me, right? Give me 2 years. You love me, right? Give me 5 years. I bet this though, if people knew that and they had money, they'll throw money people away for that. They'll be like, yo, I'll give you $1 million. Give me 10 years. And it'll be some people out here naive, and they'll sell that. They'll sell 5 or 10 years out of and off their own life for some money. It's like, man, I ain't worried about that 10 years. They said they're gonna give me $1 million for every year. Let me get there. I got 10 million. So now, if you knew you would be able to live to be 60, but somebody offered you 10 million, now you're gonna live to be 50. I see people out here that'll be willing to do that. I see people out here that be willing to do that. Like, I'm gonna live to be 75. And you find out once you get to that point or that stage in life where you understand the meaning of life and living. It's like, all right, I know I'm gonna live to be 75. And now, how's billionaires in the world or millionaires in the world, and somebody stepped to you and said, yo, I'll give you 20 million for 10 years. I see people doing that. Like, man, I'm gonna have that money. I'll let it be 65 aside, as long as I got this money. But, or however, ain't nobody gonna just give you a year. Ain't nobody gonna give you 2 years. People barely want to give people food. People barely want to give people clothes. People barely want to give people commitments and relationships. Now you're talking about years, literally off and out of your life, so somebody else could sustain living longer. I don't see mothers doing that for their kids. I don't see fathers doing that for their kids. I don't see kids doing that for their parents. I don't see grandparents doing that for their grandkids. I don't see brothers doing that for brothers. I don't see sisters doing that for sisters. Like, that's my sister, but I'm not giving her no 2 years. That's my daughter. I'm not giving her no 5 years. That's my son. I'm not giving him 2 years. That's my pops. I'm not giving him 8 months. Because now you got to value that. Once you give somebody some years, they ain't going to be around as long no more. So now that immortality means a lot. That immortality means a lot. However, when you ask people, it's about money. It's about check marks. It's about followers. Immortality. Somebody had to give up months or years out their life for somebody else to live longer. That ain't gonna happen. I don't see nobody doing that at all. I don't see one person doing it. I don't see nobody doing that. Like I said, now people will give up money though. They'll do that though in a minute now. Like, man, I'll give up some money, but can I get some years? Can I get some months? They'll do that because they're gonna think about the back end of it. Like, man, if I get them some of these millions I got, I'm gonna be around for 10 more years or 5 more years or 5 more months or 5 more days. I'm giving that up because the fact that it's scarce now to be able to live longer or to live as long as you believe you think you should be living or you should live. It's like, oh, that's scarce. Hold on. What happened? Nah. So I got $5 billion. If I give up 500 million, I can live 50 more years. I'm giving that up. They ain't even thinking about it. They gonna press that person every single day. Yo, saying, let me get them 20 years. I'll give you 500 million. So now if they knew their life expectancy would be running out at 65, they get 20 years from you, they gonna be around at 85. Or if they're gonna be around at 85, they get 10 years from somebody, they're gonna be around at 95. So now it makes somebody think, well, damn, you know what? I ain't been looking at life like that. I know. Because you look at so many things that don't even hold validity at all. Definitely since social media is around. That's why I say I'm always thinking of ways to be a better person, to be a better man. But now that I'm thinking about this immortality thing, got my mind running different. Ma done tapped in. What's going on, sis? How you? Thanks for your time. I appreciate you. I really appreciate your time and you spending time with me. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. So when you talk about immortality and living forever, people is not gonna want to sacrifice years or months off or out their life. It don't matter who it involves. It don't matter. Like I said, I don't see mothers. I don't see fathers. I don't see brothers or sisters or grandparents giving up years out their life for somebody else. I don't see it. Like I said, that'll make money and jewelry and other things more expendable now because it's like, you know what, man, I don't need this money. I need more years. I don't need these cars. I need more years. I don't need this jewelry. I need more years. Because now, once you get to that point in life where you know your life expectancy, you know, okay, at 65, this thing is over. I know at 45, this thing is over. I know at 35, this thing is over. I know at 85, this thing is over. So now you got money. And if you want to extend that life expectancy, you could buy years from somebody or you could trade in something for years. I know people do it, but I don't see nobody giving none of it up though. No matter how important people say people are to them, they ain't gonna do it. It's like, man, that's my mom, but I'm not gonna give her 5 years. Man, that's my pops. I'm not gonna give him 10 months. Man, that's my wife. I ain't gonna give her a year. Man, that's my daughter. I ain't gonna give her 2 years. That's my son. I ain't gonna give him 6 months. Man, that's my grandma's. I'm not gonna give her 2 years. I need every second I could get. But that ain't the same thought process with worrying about things that don't mean nothing. Because we literally and logically on borrowed time, though. We all got an expiration date. Everybody. It don't matter if you have more or less than somebody. We all on borrowed time. We all got an expiration date, though. That's just facts. We all got an expiration date. But I'm analyzing and I notice it takes something catastrophic to happen for people to really bear witness to that. I don't need nothing catastrophic. I bear witness to that every day because every time I get another day, that means that borrowed time gets shorter and shorter though. And like I said, I could be doing everything correct. That ain't got nothing to do with that borrowed time getting shorter and shorter. And like I said, no matter how much nobody love me, nobody appreciate me, nobody's loyal to me, no matter how much somebody trusts me, all of that. However, they ain't gonna want to give up years if they had to give it up. Say, yo, you really love me? Give me 2 years. They're gonna be like, I ain't giving you that. I don't love you that much. You loyal to me? Give me 8 months. They ain't giving me that. They gonna want every second. They ain't gonna want to give up a second though, right? Because that second they got to give up, that means it's gonna cut their life expectancy shorter. Which that's the right mentality to have. So have that mentality every day with life. And that's how I view life every day. That's why I'm thankful all the time. That's why everything is so gratifying for me because I learned. I don't know. I learned. I'm on borrowed time. In any given second, that borrowed time could be stripped away. And I could be doing everything right or everything correct. And that borrowed time still could be stripped away. And outside of me not being able to get years of that from nobody, ain't nobody gonna want to switch places with me either. Ain't nobody gonna want to switch places. So if I got to be bedridden for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years of my life, ain't nobody gonna want to switch places with me. They gonna be like, yeah, I would switch places with you. They ain't gonna want to do that. And I'm not mad at that. I'm just paying attention to it. They gonna be like, yeah, I'll switch places with you. They ain't gonna do it. It seemed like they would, but they not. And they shouldn't want to do that. That shouldn't define their loyalty or their love or their trust. That shouldn't define that. I'm just being realistic about it though, at the end of the day. Shouldn't define that. Like, you know what? Let me see how loyal this person is to me. Give me 5 years out your life. What you mean? Let me give you 5 years. I'm saying people do it, but not in the form that I'm saying. Somebody be in a relationship with somebody for 2 years and they really never really cared. They just stuck in it. They be around family and show up for years knowing they really don't get along with these family members or want to be around these family members. However, if you had to give up years to somebody because you really love them and you know it's going to take away from you, would it get done? That's that's the question. That's the question. Would you do that? And would you do it without second guessing it? Like, damn, I done gave that up. I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have did that. I don't know if I made the right decision or not. Like, you know what? Should I have done that? I don't know. And now you're gonna have to question yourself because despite the love, the loyalty, the trust, the relationship we have with people, who really gonna want to do that? Who really gonna want to do that? It's like, you know what? I don't know. Who really gonna give up that? Like, damn, I gotta give up 15 years. I gotta give up 10 years. They gonna think twice. They gonna be like, man, I ain't giving that up. I gotta give up what? I ain't doing that. I understand that such and such, but I ain't giving that up. That's why I appreciate the way my mentality works because these are the things that I think about on a daily basis. Who really gonna sit back and get that up? Who really gonna sit back and say, yeah, I'll give my wife 5 years. I'll give my kids 10 years. I mean, we do it, but not in the form that I'm talking about, where it's gonna take away from you on the back end of your situation. So once you become an adult and you got a full understanding of life and living, and it's like, okay, well, you you're gonna expire in 75 years. So you be 21. I got what 55 years left? And now it's like, okay, I got 55 years left now. You give up 10 years to your kid. You don't even know their expiration date, but I'm just saying, you get them 10 years. You don't know the expiration. Their expiration date could be 1,000. That's not the point. You give up 10 years to them, though. The expiration date, you know it now. They don't know theirs yet. You can't find out theirs today. become of age? Would you do it or would you wait to see? Like, I'm gonna wait to see. They after mine, I'm gonna hold on. So that's why it's relevant. Would you just do it? It's not about finding out their expiration date. Would you just do it? Like, nah, man, that's my mom's. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just give it up. That's my wife. That's my husband. That's my grandson. That's my granddaughter. I'm gonna just give it up. Don't matter. It's one thing to give up a body part, a liver or a kidney, something like that. But now you talking about giving up years off your life expectancy. I don't really see that. I'm gonna sit back like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get that up. They gonna be contemplating that for years. And by the time they figure it out, years gonna go by. They ain't gonna come back to you within a month or two. They may not even come back after years because they may not know how to look you in your face to tell you they ain't doing it. They ain't giving it up. Yet and still they'll want to convince you or tell you how important you are to them, how they'll give up the world for you. Okay, that's what you'll do. You think I'm paying that mind? Okay. I know you're not gonna get up. You're just gonna tell me that. Because now you got to give up years out your life, and it ain't too many people that's gonna do that. I don't think nobody gonna do it. I don't think there's nobody that's gonna do it. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't think nobody gonna do it. I don't think nobody gonna do it because you got to put a lot into it. You got to put a lot into it, and outside of that, you got to give up something from yourself for someone else. I don't see that happen. I don't see that happening. I really don't. I don't see that happening. I don't see somebody like, yeah, I love this person that much. I'm this much dedicated. I'm gonna give it up. I don't see it. Like I said, it sounds good, but it ain't that real. It ain't that real. Because when you know you got to get this up, you ain't gonna be willing to put in the work. And now, I truly believe people would now truly not be as even fake dedicated to people, because that's still fake people making it seem like they dedicate to people, but they're not gonna even fake that no more because they get it now. It's like, man, I can't even fake like I love these people no more because I know what the situation is now. And now the other time will be more important. Unlike the years of time that you have to give up, but the other time, the clock time will be like, and I ain't dealing with that. Conversation gonna be cut short. The things that people study and pay attention to will be cut short now. And that's how that works. That's how that go. Because it's like, man, I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time. I mean, people doing that in this day and age. However, when you have years to give up now for someone else to be around longer, the logic of it, the logic of it, people be like, nah, I'm good. From a logical perspective, ain't nobody gonna want to deal with that. Because it's like, damn, I gotta give up years of my life for somebody else. I'm not giving that up. Not giving it up. I give up 10 years for what? Nah, I'm not doing it. I gotta give up 5 years. Nah, I'm good. Like I said, now it'll make sense. Now it'll add up. Now it'll click. Now it'll register. But it ain't clicking right now. It's not registering right now though. No, I come because people not looking at it like that. I look at it like that. I don't have time for foolery. I don't have time for the clown show. I don't have time to be chitter chatting about people. 'Cause that's how I look at it. Like that's giving up years off my life that I can't get back. Why am I giving up these years off my life? For what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna give up time off my life. Somebody else to appease to something to someone else. I ain't giving it up. I ain't doing it. They just gotta criticize, but I ain't gonna do it. I'm good. I get it. I ain't doing it. That's how this thing works. You got to give up 5 years, 5 months, 5 minutes, 5 seconds. You ain't going to want to do it because that's 5 seconds that's going to cut off or cut down your life expectancy. Now it's like, man, no, I ain't, nope, I ain't giving this up. You ain't going to want to get up. You'll be like, nah, I'm good. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. You shouldn't. Shouldn't want to. Shouldn't have to. However, why is not happening now, though? Why you not looking at it in that regard now? Like, man, I ain't giving this up. I ain't look at it like that now. Don't wait. Look at it like that now. But I get it. It's easier to wait it out. And see, another thing about that I appreciate is that so many people like to follow and like to be liked. They won't follow that. Now, a lot of people wouldn't mind being disliked then. They ain't gonna sweat it now if people don't like them. They don't care now. They ain't gonna follow the ball because it's like I'm not giving that up. I don't care if they don't like me. You supposed to have that perspective now. Supposed to have that attitude now. Supposed to have that perspective right now. Supposed to have that attitude right now. Nope, I ain't got that. And it's all love. However, why it's not like that now though? Are people not valuing the time that they giving up and giving out of their life now? Like you're giving up time now to worry about nothing, to do nothing. However, you knew that time that you've given up, it would be taking years off and out your life. You wouldn't want to do it. So why would you want to do it now? Like them that right there you just gave up, that cost you 5 years on the back end of your life. Talking about people, gossiping, rumors. You know, that cut your life expectancy down from 75 to 70. Chasing validation, that took your life expectancy from 50 to 45. People would be like, man, I'm good. Being around family, friends, being in relationships, that took 10 years off your life expectancy. People wouldn't be in relationships. People wouldn't be around family. They wouldn't want to be like, man, I ain't, so what, that's my brother. So what, that's my sister. So what, that's my girl. Oh my God. They'll cut those relationships shorter because they see on the back end, they losing years on the back end of their life. They'll be like, man, nah, that's going to, what? That means now my life expectancy goes from 70 to 65, or my life expectancy goes from 75 to 70 because I'm still talking to people, or because I'm still gossiping, or because I'm being around family. or because I'm worrying about money, or because I'm worrying about jewelry, then I ain't sweating none of that, because I'm gonna want those years back, or those months back, or those hours back. People don't take that perspective on it like that, because they believe that it ain't being deducted like that. Well, that's how I look at it. I deduct that like that. Like, damn, okay, well, if I do this for 2 years, that could take me from 82 to 80. Nah, that could take me from 55 to 53. That could take me from 30 to 28. Like, nah, I'm good. Because like I said, no matter how much loyalty we looking for, no matter how much trust we looking for, no matter how much love we looking for, no matter how much validation we looking for, should a person have to give another person time out of their life and they know it will cut their life expectancy down shorter, they wouldn't do it. So how come people not thinking about that? How life is going right now? Still being in relationships, still being around family, still being at a job, still worrying about materialistic things or materialism. Should they get that blueprint or that pamphlet when they 18 or when they 21, like, all right, you 21, look, your expiration date is going to be 70. Now, people would be living their life with more urgency, knowing that. Since we don't know that, we just walking through it. I ain't saying we need to be running through it. I ain't even saying we need to be jogging through it. But some people just sleepwalking through it, like a zombie with it. They're like a zombie with it. Because they seeing it as, nah, I got time. You don't. The time you got is borrowed. It ain't yours. It's borrowed. In any given moment, it could be stripped away. Any given moment, it could be stripped away. Because it ain't yours, it's borrowed. Any given moment, that time, think somebody come snatch it. Somebody gonna come take it from you. Not yours. It ain't yours. Somebody come take it. Like, yo, let me get that. So why are we not doing this in real life or in real time? Why are we not doing it? It's not ours. It's borrowed. Real time. Borrowed time. It's not ours. It's not ours. It's borrowed. But we're not looking at it like that. We go, now I could do that tomorrow. Now I could do that next week. Now I could do that next month. That's not certified. That's not guaranteed. It's not. It's not guaranteed. So that's why I'm not quick, or I'm not on it like just giving my energy up no more, giving my time up no more. Because I know I'm on borrowed time. And if I'm gonna get my time and my energy out, it gotta be more than worth it. It gotta be. Doesn't matter who it is. That's why mankind and civilization was not given immortality, because we waste time and we don't even have immortality. If we have, we really would waste it. It would be the world would be a bunch of walking zombies everywhere. It would waste time. It'd be a bunch of zombies everywhere. Everywhere you go, you'll be seeing walking zombies because they're not going to appreciate the time. Because they're not going to appreciate it. So in life or in this lifetime, if it could be converted into life and it gets stripped away on the back end, however long you guaranteed to live, let it be stripped away on the back end. People will live life differently. They'll live life differently because they get it. They'll be like, man, I ain't got time to be gossiping. I ain't got time to be arguing. I ain't got time to be screaming. I ain't got time to be giving time to this job, time to family. That's taken away from me on the back end. I found out, man, if I be around family for 2 years, man, that takes 2 years off my living. And I don't really want to be around them anyway. I already got love for them anyway. I really don't want to be at this job anyway. So people wouldn't just do things just cause or just for. They would reevaluate what they do, how they do it, when they do it, who they do it with, who they do it around. They're gonna reevaluate it. They might not want to admit it, but they're gonna do that. Because people would say that got kids, man, I'll do anything for my kids. So if you knew you was gonna live to be 85 years old and now you give up 5 years to one of your kids, you know you're gonna live to be 80. I don't see nobody doing that easily. They're gonna contemplate that for a long time. Man, I love my moms. I'll do anything for my moms. Okay, well, you know you're gonna live to be 75. Would you give your mama 10 years? I love my pops. Would you give him 5 years? Knowing now you went from 75 to 70. You love your mama. You going from 85 to 75. You want to give her 10 years? Knowing that now. You know what I mean? And it don't matter if your kid or your mama or your pops or your wife or your husband expiration date is after yours. That don't got nothing to do with it. Whether it's before yours or after yours. Would you get up? I'm saying majority of people, 95, 96% of people are gonna be like, I ain't doing that. So why they doing it now? How they doing it now? Because they worrying about things that's beneath them, that don't concern them, other people's lives, other people's business, other people's money. So if you knew that, worrying about somebody else's life, like okay, gossiping, if that would take 5 years out your life, people wouldn't do it because they'd be like, man, that's gonna take me from what? From 65 to 60? Nah. My life expectancy is gonna be cut by 5 years by gossiping. I ain't doing it. My life expectancy gonna get cut 5 years from being around family. I know I want to be around them anyway. I ain't doing it. It's gonna take 10 years out of my life. I know I don't really want to advocate these holidays, but I was just doing it for my girl or for my man or for my kids or for my family. They ain't gonna do it. I do it now. That's how I look at life. The more I do things that I know, I look at it like it's going to take life expectancy out and off my life. That's how I look at it. Like, I don't want nobody else to look at it like that, but that's what I be doing. That's how I be looking at life. If I worry about celebrities and gossip, that's going to take 5 years out of my life. If we had a life scale and that life scale could tell you doing these things would take life years out of and off your life. If you do these things right, people wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. Like, yo, if you steal, this will take 2 years off your life, regardless of what it is you steal. It could be something worth a quarter. The fact that you did it, you ain't going to jail or nothing like that. You ain't going to have to go to jail. Your family, your peoples ain't got to bail you out. But once you do that, that's going to take 2 years off your life. So every time you steal something, so if you steal 5 times, that's 10 years out your life. You can't get it back. So now, whatever your life expectancy was your expiration date was you was going to expire in 85 years. Now you stole 5 times, okay, you're going to expire in 75 years. How many people really going to steal? It don't matter if they dead starving. They ain't going to steal. Because they're going to be like, man, I ain't risking that. I get 2 years taken off. I ain't risking it. Man, you mean to tell me if I'm in this relationship right here and I know I really don't want to be in it, but I'm getting 2 years taken off the back end, I ain't going to be in this relationship. Yo, I'm out. That woman going to tell that dude, I can't do it. That dude going to tell that woman, I can't do it. So it don't matter now about nothing else. You're going to be so conscious about the back end of it. You're going to be like, nah. You know now, if you get pregnant and you know that ain't that man kid and you lie about that being his baby, the universe know that you lying. Okay, we're going to take 15 years off. Oh, nah, I'm good. Now you're going to be conscious. Nah, I ain't doing that. You know what? I ain't going to even have sex till I know I'm certain about this because I could get pregnant at any given moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like your conscious level going to change. But since it's not pushed out there like that, people take it for granted. They take it for granted. It's like, man, I got this many followers. Okay, well, that's gonna cost you 5 years for being on the internet gossiping, talking about celebrities, following other people. Being a follower, that takes 10 years out your life. You know how many people ain't gonna want to follow and listen to nobody else now? Because it's like, damn, hold on, that cost me 10 years. I'm good. I ain't got that. Now people really could see that nobody really likes them. It ain't gonna be about that no more. Because it's like, hold on, nah, I ain't gonna hit that follow button because that's gonna take 5 years out of my life. Man, I ain't really like them anyway. I just was doing it because everybody else was doing it. But that's following. Okay, thank you. Well, 5 years. So now you pushing your own life expectancy. You making it shorter. You making it shorter. Okay, you want to bully people? Okay, that'll cost you 5 years. You want to curse people out? That'll cost you 2 years. You want to be nosy? That'll cost you 3 years. You want to talk behind people back? That'll cost you 2 years. It's like, damn, before you know it, how long you gonna live? How long you gonna live? You a cop, you want to be crooked? That'll cost you 10. You want to implant drugs on people? You want to steal people money and all that? You want to lock people up and they ain't break the law or nothing? That's gonna cost you debt. No problem. No. We got you on the back end. It's gonna take 5 years off your life. People ain't gonna want to do it no more. You're a reverend, you're a pastor, you're a deacon, you want to lie about spiritual books, we ain't mad at you. It's going to cost you 10 years. I don't see nobody being at that pulpit lying no more. I don't see the deacon wanting to be a deacon no more. I don't see a pastor wanting to be a pastor no more because now it's going to cost you on the back end. You was going to let it be 85 pastor. Now we're going to take you down to 75. Now go ahead up there and sing the benediction now. Go ahead up there and preach that gospel now, knowing that what you're saying is a lie and you brainwashing and manipulating people to believe something they shouldn't believe. We ain't mad at you. We're just going to take 10 years off. Go ahead. Go ahead. We're going to take 10 years off. And it only starts when you're an adult. So kids don't know this yet. So if they 10 and 11 and 12, they don't know nothing yet. But if you a dude, okay, they say dudes is men at 18 or 21, okay, you find out when you're 21. Females, they find out when they 18. So now once you get 18, okay, it's like, okay, from 18, you got 60 more years. From 21, okay, you're a dude, you got 50 more years. It's like, damn, okay, I'm gonna live to be 71. So I do any of these things right here, they're gonna take time out. Okay, damn, if I do this, they're gonna take 6 months. If I do this, they're gonna take 10 minutes. If I do this, they're gonna take a year. People ain't gonna be playing around. People ain't gonna be drinking and driving. They ain't gonna be, because it's like, but hold on, that takes 5 years. I'm good. Females ain't gonna want to be on OnlyFans no more if they knew that. I'm saying, but okay, every time you expose your body, that's a year. It don't matter if you just showing your feet, that's a year. Don't matter if you just showing your arms, that's 2 years. The higher up you go on your body, the more years we take. Okay, you want to show your breast? Okay, that's 5. You want to show your private area? That's 10. You know what I mean? You want to be a prostitute? You want to exploit your body? Okay, that's 20 years. Who gonna want to do that? Who gonna really, with logical sense now, who gonna want to do that? Man, I ain't doing that. I'm good. Mean to tell me if I do this, I'm gonna lose. Yeah, on the back end. No, we ain't gonna mess with you in the early years. Nope. We gonna give you the prime and your youth. But on the back end, when you may need that 5 years, when you may need that 10 years, when you may need them 10 months, when you may need them 8 months, we gonna take that away. We gonna do that. You want to be a judge and you don't want to be straight up? Okay, no. We ain't mad at you, judge. You can do that, but I'm saying we're gonna take 5 years away from you. That's how this thing goes. It will change one's perspective. It'll change one's mentality because it's gonna cost you. Forget that you ain't gonna even think about other people no more. You ain't gonna tell other people what they should do, how they should do it, how they should live their life, what their diet should be, what type of man they should have, what type of woman they should have, how they should raise their kids, where they get their education. You ain't gonna want to argue about music, sports, fashion, finances, none of that no more. You ain't gonna care about what nobody religion is. You ain't gonna care about voting. None of that ain't gonna matter because any of these things that you do, it's gonna cost you on the back end when you ain't doing it sincere. When you ain't doing it sincerely, when you sincerely don't mean it, you just doing it to do it. If it ain't sincere, it's gonna cost you. It's like, but you ain't really mean to vote for the person. You just did it because you don't like the other candidate. It's like, all right, but that ain't no problem. That's going how long they gonna be open? 4 years. That'll cost you 4 years. You ain't gonna do that no more. Now you're gonna really pay attention to policies. You're gonna do this. You're gonna really pay attention to the law. You ain't gonna just do something not being mindful. You ain't gonna just get behind a car and it's like police chasing you. You ain't gonna just step on the gas and pull off because that's going. You ain't gotta go to jail, but it's gonna cost you on the back end of your life. When you getting older, it's gonna strip years off. So now that'll take away from you spending time with your grandkids or your kids. Or if you ain't got kids and grandkids, just gonna take time out your life that you know you can never get it back. And now for those who like, yo, I don't care. I'll do whatever for this money. So if somebody stepped to you and say, yo, they're a billionaire, they say, I'll give you 500 million, give me 10 years. So now you know you was gonna let it be 85, or you cut your life expectancy down to 75 for 500 million. I mean, people will do it. You're gonna have 500 million, but you know now that expiration date is cutting off at 75. Or would you not want to give up that 10 years in for that 500 million? Would you be like, nah, I don't care. I'm gonna have 500 million though. Would you still want to do that? Somebody said, yo, I'll give you $1 billion, give me 30 years. Would you want to do it? You're a billionaire. But I'm saying now you probably gonna go from 75 to 45. But you wanna do it? You're gonna be a billionaire. It ain't gonna last that long. Would you wanna do it? Or would you want to just have them back them years on the back end? Like, nah, man, I'm good. You know what? Nah, I want them years on the back end. I don't need that money that bad. Right. I don't need to have friends that bad. I don't need to be in a relationship that bad. You're gonna reconsider it because something now will be stripped away. So you're gonna reconsider it. You ain't gonna just be like, no, I'm gonna do it. Nope, you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna want to chance it. You ain't gonna want to take a chance. You'll be like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna give up 10 years for that amount of money? Nah, because thinking about it now, you're like, but 10 years, come on, that's a long time. A decade? 5 years is a long time. When you talk about one's life expectancy or your expiration date, because we don't know our expiration date. Nobody knows that. We all know we have one. We all know it's gonna come, but we don't know when it is. So why would we want to jeopardize that? I don't care who it is. It could be the baddest of the bad. It could be the most gangster of the most gangster. But once they know their expiration date, they gonna move differently. I don't care how many people you done unalived. Now you know your expiration date. Come on, ask somebody on death row what they want to exchange with somebody that's just living life. They're gonna be like, yeah, yo, you come sit on death row. It's the same way with somebody that know now by doing things that don't mean nothing, they're gonna lose life, time out of their life for that. They ain't gonna want to do that. I'm not doing that. You're like, man, no, I'm good. They're gonna tell you, be like, man, I'm good. Because they get it, they're gonna pay attention. They're not gonna want their life expectancy to be getting stripped based around that or based off that. They'll be like, nah, I'm good. And the things that they was into or the things that they was doing, they ain't gonna want to do no more. How come? Because they're gonna have to think about their own life on the back end of the situation. They'll be like, man, I'm not doing that. And they're gonna tell people that with pride that I'm not doing that. What why would I do that? I'm not giving this up for nobody. How come people don't think like that with everyday living right now? Life would be so much better because now you can't fake nothing. You got to be modest and sincere about everything. Can't fake nothing. Can't fake that love no more. You can't fake conversation no more. You got to be honest and upfront about everything because when you front it off or you lying or you being fake or you being materialistic or you having hate or animosity or jealousy, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just gonna be taken off the back end of your life. So it's gonna cut your life expectancy shorter. It's gonna push up, speed up your expiration date. That's all it's gonna do. People would not be playing no more. People would not have hate no more. They ain't gonna be stuck on things that happened yesterday or yesteryear. They're gonna be so focused on moving forward because it's like, but I ain't got time to sweat that. I ain't got time to lose years on the back end of my life. And it don't matter. Age ain't got that to do with that no more. Once you've grown and you know, once you get grown, you're gonna find out, all right, I'm gonna live to this day right here. Or this age rapper. It's like you ain't gonna play with that. I don't care what nobody say. They ain't gonna play with it. Because now they got a bigger picture. It's like the bigger picture is this. Man, I ain't playing with this. Nah. I ain't nope. I ain't gonna waste time with that no more. I'm good. Because now they're gonna have to appreciate it. They're gonna have to appreciate it. But see, it's not appreciated now because it's not looked at like that. That's why I appreciate it. Because I look at it that way. The more of nothing I do, it's costing me on the back end. Because again, we all got an expiration date. We don't know when or how. And for some that say they know when, okay, they don't know how. For some that may know how, they don't know when. So they could get into all the dynamics of, oh, well, I got money. Okay, all right. You do got money. What that mean? It ain't gonna get you to live longer. It ain't gonna increase the expiration date though. You do got that, but it ain't gonna increase that. Won't do that. So no matter what the story is, it won't increase that. So all the luxury items and all that, so all the money, fame, check marks, status quo, and how is that increasing someone's expiration date? Oh, it's not. And it won't. So it don't matter because it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. Not going to do it. So no matter how somebody feel, see things, whatever, it ain't going to do it. It's all right. It ain't going to increase that. When you like, no, I'll be all right. No, you're not. Because that expiration date, New York got an expiration date. Everybody might not have money. Everybody might not have jewelry. Everybody might not have good relationships and all that. But we all got an expiration date. We all got that. Everybody might not have the heart as the next person to do this or to do that or whatever. Okay, no problem, but we all got expiration date though. Everybody might not be gangster or savage or whatever. Everybody might not willing to be crashed out or crashing out or whatever. But we all got expiration date though. Everybody might not have Gucci, Louis, you know. Okay, we all got expiration date though. Some people might not even have a place to live, place to call home. Got expiration date though. Got an expiration date though. Definitely got that. You don't know when or how it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You got expiration date. So go ahead and let people influence you to not pay attention to that. That's the only thing going on. At this point in life, what's more important than that? Okay, if it's money, that's not changing your expiration date. If it's fame, if it's cars, that ain't changing none of that. None of them things gonna keep you here long. Like I said, some of those things could decrease your expiration date. How? Because now so many other people want to get at you for those things, for those cars, for your money, because of your relationship. And that's what's going on. But now I guess it's just me. I'm just chatting. My bad. I'm just chatting. My fault. I'm just chatting. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just chatting. Yeah, but that expiration date, it gotta matter. That's why a lot of people going through what they going through because they're ignoring that expiration date. It don't matter. I'm gonna be here forever. Nobody is. Nobody will. And again, if anybody know anybody who have expired and been expired for a week or two and came back, I want to talk to them. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to hear about the speculation. I don't want to hear about the rumors. I want to talk to them. The speculation and the rumors sound good, but I want to talk to them. I want to have a conversation, so at least I know what to look forward to, what to expect. It's not even when to expect; it's just what to expect. I want to talk to them. Like I said, when or how, that's not even important to me no more. Not important to me no more. I want to know what to expect when it happens. That's what I want to know. And what goes on. Tell me what's going on. Are you able to talk? Are you able to hear? Are you able to listen? Are you able to eat? Are you able to sleep? Like, is it just darkness? Is it a bunch of light? What is it? What is it? I want to know. And I ain't asking for a friend on that one. I'm asking me. That's what I want to know. I want to know that. How this thing go? How this thing work? How it work? Not rumors, not speculation, not what nobody heard. Facts, truth. Now I heard somebody said they was expired for 2 hours. Nah, that no, 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 no. Give me a week. Give me a week. Give me a week. And I want to talk to him. I don't want no scriptures, no spiritual books. No, I want to talk to the person who did it. I want to have a conversation with him. Give me some actual proof. All these cameras and all this modern day technology and phones and all this stuff. Proof. Proof. I need some proof. Look out for me. Give me some proof. Give me some proof. I love to see it. Hit me up with some proof. That's how this thing works. That's how it go. I need some proof. Nobody ain't gonna be able to give me no proof because it don't exist. It don't exist. See, we also live in days time where everybody want to dispute everything and they want to expose everybody and they want to exploit everything. Well, expose somebody that who outlived that expiration date, and now they can tell us exactly what happened, what goes on. And like I said, a few hours ain't good enough. Give me, how they say, 5 to 7 business days. Let me get that. Give me 5 to 7 business days. Now we getting somewhere. 5 to 7 business days. You give me 5 to 7 business days. And like I said, no books, no scriptures, no spiritual books, no rumorville. No, I'm saying somebody told me no. Proof. Because people will say, I got receipts. Well, let me see receipts on that. Let me see that person pronounced expired and their family had services for them. And now, a week after that, they back around, walking around, having a conversation with everybody. And it's really them. Mm-mm. It don't exist because it's an illusion. It's not real. Like I said, we live in the days of time where people say they got receipts and they don't mind exposing or exploiting people, right? I'd be lying and making them stories. Well, I want to see somebody show me on any social media platform that somebody expired and they've been at least expired for 5 to 7 business days and they back walking around talking, having a conversation. Not a few hours, no. That don't count. 5 to 7 business days. That's what I'm talking about. Let me know. Have some sort of real proof. Not no spiritual books. Not that. It says it right here. This, but no. Nah. Mm-mm. No. Physical proof. Factual proof. Not what a book allegedly said or says somebody did. Nah. I need physical or factual proof that can't be denied. Like, look, this person was pronounced expired on this day, and now look, they back out here walking around, moving around, interacting with people in life. Don't exist. It don't exist. It's not real. It's a figment of my imagination. Why that ain't be exposed yet? Why that haven't been exploited yet? What's going on with that? What's going on with that? I ain't no arguments about that though. Ain't nobody arguing about that, screaming at each other about that, yelling at each other about that. I would love to see that. I would love to see it. It's important to me. I ain't even worried about who else it ain't important to. It's important to me. I would love to see it because people always want to show somebody something. They always want to prove something. Prove that. Prove that. Give receipts for that. Give proof for that. I want to see that. Show me. Like I would love to see it. I'm not mad at nobody. I just want to see it. Anything else being proven, anything else being exposed, right? It's receipts for things. What are receipts for that? People can say, well, this person loved me, this person loyal. Okay. Well, again, somebody had to give you years off their life and it will cut their life shorter. Would they do that? That would be the ultimate test of loyalty right there. That'd be the ultimate testimony right there. I know it ain't gonna happen though. I know everybody ain't gonna do it though. It sounds good. I'm not gonna do it though. So I'll do it just it sounds good until it actually gotta get done. To, once it gotta get done now, we gonna really find out. So Lynn, it's a joke. It's a joke. Because can't get no receipts for something like that because can't prove it. So all this, I'm gonna expose and exploit. Exploit the fact that somebody caught their expiration date, and in 5 to 7 business days, they was able to come back, have a conversation, and interact with their family and or their loved ones again. Ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. See, now that's real life. That's real talk. All that other stuff is just chit chat. That's real talk. Let somebody be pronounced unalive, and now they come back 5 to 7 business days. Not a few hours, not 5 to 7 business days. Come back. I love to see it. I love to see it. I love to see it. Yes. Now I got action. I love to see it. I got action. And again, for all those who agree, definitely like the video, like the stream, subscribe. That's why I ignore things. I ignore people. Because what I'm focused on is different. Totally different. Ain't gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna leave it alone. Because I learned I'm on borrowed time. I'm on borrowed time. I don't need nobody to validate me. I'm good. And I'm not validating people either. I just ain't worried about it. People looking to validate me. I validate myself. And it don't mean nothing when you understand and you learn you're on borrowed time anyway. That's what's going on. We're on borrowed time. Like I said, I don't care who wants to debate it. Oh, they can't. They're unable to. But it's a fact. It's a fact. They can bring up all this other things. We on borrowed time. That's what we on. Borrowed time. I be called whatever. Just dispute the fact that we on borrowed time. That's it. and give me some facts and truth behind it. Don't tell me about emotions and how you feel. Nope. Let me know with some proof and facts that we're not on borrowed time. And everybody that's moving around, human beings, don't have expiration date. And what about AI? That's different. Human beings, expiration date. Birth certificate, death certificate. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Birth certificate, death certificate. That's what's going on. So like I tell everybody, you new, make sure you subscribe, you like, and you share. I'm gonna always do what I do. This is why I'm me. Because I'm gonna ask questions like this. We all on borrowed time. Every human being on the planet Earth, we on borrowed time. We don't know when the expiration date or how it's coming. So for all those that may say, I know when, I'm gonna grant that. Do you know how? For those who say how, you don't know when. You ain't gonna know both. You ain't gonna know both. Because people like to do that. Okay? You may know how, but you don't know when. You may know when, but you don't know how. Fact of the matter is, though, I learned we all on borrowed time. Everybody on the planet. Everybody. So you get more cars, more money, you be in a relationship, more marriage, you can have more kids, all that. But once this thing called life expire, you ain't getting another one. Can't get near another one. Can't get another one. So it don't matter what people say to me, say about me, how they want to judge me, view me, whatever. Okay. Get another life once the one you have expired. 5 to 7 business days. Let me see how it work out for you. See how it work out for you. No, it ain't gonna work out. Can't get another one. You ain't get it. Sounds good. But you ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna be able to do it. I really enjoy streams like this. Really enjoy streams like this. Because I don't have to worry about anything. And that's my point of why I do streams like this. Because we all on borrowed time. Why you gotta give me their time? Another fact though, they still want to give it to nobody though. See that's what I'm talking about. I ain't trying to give this borrowed time to people no more. Because I get it. I get it. So at the end of the day, just remember, we all on borrowed time. No matter what you say or do, no matter what you say or do, we on borrowed time. 5 to 7 business days. Let me know who has expired and came back. Let me know. 5 to 7 business days after someone expired, who came back. Not 5 or 7 hours. Nah, 5 to 7 business days. We all on borrowed time. Everybody. And like I said, I'm on it this way because a lot of people always say, that's not true. I could dispute that. I could fact check that one. Fact check the fact that everybody's on borrowed time and everybody got an expiration date. Fact check that. So again, everybody who tapped in, I appreciate it. The moderator, thank you as always. I appreciate you. And I'll be doing something for my Wise Warriors coming up. You know what I mean? I got you, Wise Warriors. I just had to do this so tomorrow I may do something for my Wise Warriors. Or later this week or something coming up. You know? But at the end of the day, 5 to 7 business days, let me know if somebody came back after that expiration date. I want to know how that worked out, all right? Till next time, assalamu alaikum, shalom. Peace, world.